Hey, what is up, mortals? It is TCCrew here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 3 of What If Deku Had a Copy Quirk. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So we begin.
Izuku, a letter form UA! It's arrived!
The woman, nearly having a heart attack, passed the letter to the freckled boy. Izuku went back into his room to open the letter until there was a knock at the door.
Hey Izuku, you get in or what?
The blonde-haired boy said, walking in with his open letter.
What? You opened your letter already?
The green-haired boy was in shock to know his best friend opened it without him.
Don't worry about it. All I know is if I got in. That's it.
The boy opened his letter and pulled a disc out. Izuku nodded as they watched the disc light up and show a hologram of All Might.
Well done, young Monoma. You got 60 villain points, but not only that,
the boy stared in suspense.
You also got 50 rescue points for what you and Midoriya did. That was the work of true heroes.
Both of the boys were speechless.
Welcome to Class 1B, young Monoma.
Nato didn't know what to say as a tear fell down his cheek.
This is the best day ever.
The blonde-haired boy's eyes sparkled.
My turn,
the green-haired boy announced. Izuku opened the letter and the same disc came out. It lit up, showing a hologram.
Well done, young Midoriya. You got 60 villain points and 55 rescue points.
Izuku's eyes sparkled.
Welcome to Class 1A. Your performance wowed all the teachers watching. You and young Monoma will make great heroes.
Both boys sat there, astonished that they were in different classes.
I'll be seeing you tomorrow at school, hopefully.
Izuku sighed as he stood in front of the massive door, knowing full well what to expect when he entered. A familiar Quirk sat in the center of the room, as another hovered beside it. Deku! The blonde howled as he leapt from his seat. The blue-haired boy standing beside him locked on in shock as Bakugo launched himself across the room with a burst of his quirk. I'll kill you, you freak! A hand from behind the green-haired boy slapped onto the loud blonde's chest with a force as a girl shoved him away. The blonde shrieking as he was suddenly shot backwards, flailing as he floated in the air.
That quirk is so cool.
The green-haired boy turned around to see a brown-haired girl.
Please tell me how it works.
Okay, well...
The girl started going red.
Well, I touch things and I can make them float.
No, I mean, what does it feel like?
The green-haired boy, not very excited.
It feels like I'm picking things up from afar and being in space at the same time. Is that what you wanted to know?
The girl said while scratching the back of her neck.
Oh, I understand now.
Izuku started walking towards the floating boy. Let me down, you quirk-stealing fuck! Bakugo screamed as he tried to right himself using explosions, sending him spinning madly in the air.
Sorry, don't know how.
Izuku laughed as the rest of the class tried to hide their snickers, before turning to the brunette.
Any advice?
What? Oh! Place your hands together like this and think, release!
She said, Izuku copying her action before Bakugo suddenly collapsed into a heap on the ground. I'm going to kill you! The blonde shouted as he scrambled to his feet.
Really, Kachan? Is that all you can say? Just kill, kill, kill? I thought you were smart.
Izuku sighed before pointing a thumb over his shoulder at the door.
Anyway, teacher's here.
The voice suddenly said. The rest of the class jumping, Izuku simply heading towards a free desk. The caterpillar made its way into the room before shedding his sleeping bag, revealing the lanky man inside. He looked around the room for a moment, before reaching into the bag and pulling out a set of PE uniforms.
I am Shoto Aizawa, your new homeroom teacher,
he said as he tossed the packaged clothes onto his desk.
Grab one of those and get changed. We're meeting out on the main field in 15 minutes.
The class stared as he turned and walked away, dragging the sleeping bag behind him.
Hey, Deku, right?
The redhead asked as they changed.
What was up with that whole thing before with Kachan?
Actually, my name is Izuku Midoriya.
Izuku explained.
Deku's an insult that only Kachan uses because he's scared of me.
I ain't scared of shit. You Quirk stealing fuck.
The blonde exploded with rage in the distance.
I've never been scared of you.
Yeah.
Izuku laughed as the rest of the boys stared at them in shock.
Say it all you like, people will figure you out eventually.
Hey, what's he mean by Quirk stealing? A blonde asked with a black lightning bolt in his hair. He said it in class as well.
Oh, I can see and copy quirks.
Izuku explained, holding out his hand as he sparkled with explosions, making the blonde gasp.
Any emitter or transformation quirk I can copy as long as I know and remember how they work. Kachan is just scared I'll be better at using his quirk than him.
Fuck you!
Bakugo howled as he shot across the room, skidding to a halt as a thick arm suddenly swung up in front of him.
I have kept quiet up until this point,
the blue-haired teen said, glaring at Bakugo.
But I cannot accept your threats any longer. Continue and I'll report you to the school. Fucking try me!
Bakugo spat before grabbing his jacket and storming out of the changing room.
Thanks, Glasses, but he won't change for anyone,
Izuku said.
It is quite all right. I understand. I am Tenya Ida.
The boy introduced himself, holding out his hand rigidly.
I must say, I am impressed that you decrypted the hidden rescue point system. Oh, yeah!
Another student, his large elbows getting slightly stuck in the jacket as he pulled it on.
I had no idea about that. How many points did you guys get? I only got like 12 rescue points or something.
55 rescue points, 60 villain points,
Izuku said, making every head snap towards him in a surprise.
What?
Wait, you're the guy that got first place!
The redhead gasped.
Dude, that's so manly! I'm Ejiro Kirishima, by the way.
Thank you, Kaminari. The blonde boy laughed.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Izuku laughed as they headed out of the changing room.
Enough chatter.
The teacher called as the last of the students joined the group.
Bakugo, you got the highest villain points in the entrance exam. Use your quirk to throw this softball as far as you can. Midoriya, you know what to do by now.
The new homeroom teacher said as they stood on the field, tossing the softball to the team. They'd done almost all the other exercises by now, Izuku placing pretty decently in all of them. All that was left was the softball throw and a long-distance run.
Okay,
Izuku said as he sauntered towards the circle.
Now, whose quirk should I use? Oh, I know.
Don't think of it, Deku!
The loud blonde shouted as Izuku stared at Bakugo.
Or what?
The green-haired boy launched the ball with a massive explosion.
Deku! You fuck!
Bakugo roared as he leapt forwards, suddenly dropping onto his face as his quirk refused to work. He looked up, his eyes widened as Izuku's eyes glowed in green.
Thanks, everyone who let me use their quirks today,
the green-haired teen said as he bowed theatrically.
Huh.
The man grunted, simply holding up his phone.
760 meters.
You did amazingly in the softball throw, Uraraka.
Izuku laughed as the 6 students, Izuku, Kirishima, Uraraka, Ida, Denki, and Sero, walked out of the school building.
You got infinity, didn't you?
The brown-haired girl said, puffing up her cheeks and glaring at the green-haired boy.
That's only because I used other people's quirks,
Izuku said, looking down slightly. Izuku Midoriya! The shout startled the group out of their discussion, all turning to look at the posing blonde standing opposite them.
Naito Monama!
Izuku cried out back, adopting his own pose, before walking forwards, his body held at an odd angle.
Oh, you're approaching me?
The blonde said.
You're really approaching me? I can't kick your ass if you don't get closer.
Izuku replied, continuing to walk.
Then get as close as you need to.
Naito laughed as he walked towards Izuku, the group of 1A students watching in confusion as the two stopped directly opposite each other, then hugged, making the entire group slap their heads in disappointment as they stared at the two.
I thought you were about to start a fight, Midoriya!
Ida shouted, chopping his hands frantically through the air.
That would be strictly against the rules.
No, we just like to mess around.
Izuku laughed as he slung an arm around the blonde's shoulder.
This is my best world and a fellow copycat, Nato Monoma.
Greeting 1A students, the blonde said. I hope that Izuku hasn't done anything too terrible to you yet. No, of course not, Ida said, stepping up as he offered a hand. I am Tenya Ida, a pleasure to meet you. Likewise, Nato said as he took the hand, raising an eyebrow as he did so. Ah, a mutation quirk. I didn't see your legs, so I was wondering. What? The stern boy asked.
Nato can copy the quirk of anyone he touches, including mutation quirks.
Izuku explained with a proud grin. Izuku! The blonde huffed. You can't just go giving away my secrets like that, the redhead said. The next day at school, it was time for heroics training. Kurishima asked as the class waited excitedly.
Oh, definitely,
Izuku said, absent-mindedly.
He's right outside the door.
Oh, I'm coming through the door like a normal person!
The pro shouted as he slammed the door open, hanging on the doorframe as he grinned at the class. The redhead shouted,
Hello, students!
All Might said as he walked into the room, flexing for the class before spinning around and smiling even wider.
I'm sure you're all wondering what your first foundational heroics class will be.
All Might watched as the class shouted and cheered, his smile unwavering as he looked across the room, locking eyes with Izuku for a moment, recognition flashing across his face. Izuku just grinned back, giving the man a thumbs up as he waited for All Might to continue.
That's a battle trial.
The side of the wall started sliding.
But first you must look the part, young Midoriya,
All Might said quietly while walking past the green-haired boy.
Glad to see you made it in.
Good to see you too,
Izuku responded.
Ha ha!
The loud blonde barked as he heard their conversation. Thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description. So feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video, so goodbye, and have a divine day.